Hello, everyone. We want to thank you for joining Medit's educational webinar series today. We just got started last week, actually, and we're seeing triple the attendance. So obviously, Maria, people liked what you had to say. This is, if you're new to joining today, we've got Maria Rozlikova with us today, and she is stationed at Medit headquarters in Korea. She's a program manager at Medit there. So Maria, thank you so much for joining us again today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, it's exciting. So we've kind of made June Medit App Month. So here in the U.S. and Canada, I'm part of the Medit team here. My name is Emily Bradley, and we just get question after question after question about these apps. People want to learn more about them. They want to know how to use them, and they want to know how it can make their practice better. So what we've done is we've organized webinars throughout June that are covering all 4 of the Medit apps, which, Maria's there kind of at ground zero where these apps were created. So she's been kind enough to participate and walk us through the process. Now, before we get started, I quickly wanted to mention that we are recording this. So anyone who didn't participate today, if you signed up, you should receive the recording in your email. Now, I was told that many of you didn't receive the recording last time. Please email me. If you respond to the email that you received, your Medit reminder, it will be to emily.bradley@medit.com. Please respond to me if you didn't get the recording. If you didn't get, or if you want future webinar registration links, just reach out to me and I'll get you what you need. After the webinar, we also have a survey that's sent out. And what we'd like to do is collect your issues and questions that you would like to learn more about with the Medit. So we want to use that time to kind of collect information from you and start to build webinars around your needs. So make sure you reply to that survey. And last but not least, and then I'll let you get started here, Maria, is we will be taking questions. So what happens is if you join from a laptop, you're going to see a control panel on the right-hand side of your screen. If you click the little chat button, it's going to open up a chat box and you can email or basically type your questions to me, and then I will ask the questions to Maria. So don't hesitate to ask the questions. I spoke to a lot of people throughout the week who had participated the last time, and they emailed me some questions, and they were really great, valid questions. And I just said, hey, join this next webinar. Make sure you ask them while Maria's here. Take advantage of having a program manager, on the call. So anyways, that being said, today's webinar is Medit Ortho Simulation. And Maria, without me taking up more time, I'm just going to pass the time off to you and let you get started.
Yeah, thank you. So if you were present at our last webinar, we talked about Medit Smile Design, and we talked about how we can utilize it and get the maximum out of it for the consultation purposes. And with Ortho Simulation, we're also talking about the consultation side of your practice. So both Smile Design and Ortho Simulation, we stress that they're made solely for consultation purposes, and they're there to give you this wow moment when you talk to your patient and consult them on the possibility of all the treatments that you have in mind. So while Smile Design is uniquely this app in our ecosystem that focuses on 2D data, now we dive into exciting world of 3D data. So as you know, all our apps, they're located in MeditLink in AppBox. They're all absolutely free as long as you have a MeditLink account, which is also free. When you go to AppBox, you click this icon of the app you're interested in, you click the install button, and here you are. When you go to Casebox and you have your case that you like to work on, you will see that all of the apps will be shown here at the top right corner. So in order to run Medit Ortho Simulation, you will need scan data above arches, and you will have to have the occlusion. So if you don't have the occlusion, you will not be able to run the program. But if you really want to just try it out, but you don't have the data necessarily, maybe you're really new to Medit, maybe you don't have a scanner yet, I will show you a way later on that you can do that.
Hey, Maria, so while you're here, do you mind if I interrupt really quick? Sorry, you're kind of used to me interrupting you, so I'll keep doing it. If they don't actually have 3D files to work with, if they click on the application there will actually be a video that they can watch, and then kind of some files that you provide for them, correct? So they can actually work with it from those files?
Right. So right now, because in this case I have my scan data, when I click the app icon, I actually launch the app. But yeah, if you don't have any data, there will be this link, yeah, and you are landing on app's welcome page. You will be landed to a welcome page for Ortho Simulation, and there at the very bottom of the page, you will see the Medit welcome package, and there you have a user guide, you have the sample data, suited for both clinics and labs. So you can just import it as a case into Medit Link, and you can try out what this app is like.
Perfect. It's a great way to practice.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we got really nice feedback about having the sample data finally. So yeah,
it is
hopefully
great.
it
And
helps.
a short video, you know, it just walks you through the whole
Yeah.
process. So anyways, I'll let you continue.
So here, I'm gonna start a new project, and the first thing I will have to do is that I will have to define the midline of the specific case I'm working with. And as here, we deal with the consultation. When you consult your patient, you really want it to look all nice, and especially if your patient's really new to getting their teeth 3D scan, they don't know what it is. You really don't want to scare them. So for that, if you want to maximize this ortho simulation process, if your data looks like this, you can trim it a little bit. So it's kind of like nice and clean. And it will really help to create a really nice base for the model. So now it looks something like this. Like, okay. So I make sure that those green dots are in the middle. And then I click the confirm button. And here you see the model is it looks much more cleaner. And here, while we're waiting, you can see that on the right side, there are all these buttons. So you don't have to be scared of them. They just allow you to set different views on the scan data. So here we are. We're at the first stage of the program, which is called the simulation settings. And I think this is a crucial part of what you will be doing. So here you have, first of all, you have the form, you have the scan data, and then you have this part. In Medit Ortho Simulation, we allow 3 different scenarios for you to show your patient and talk about them and compare among themselves. So I'm going to create those 3 scenarios, and the overwhelming feedback that we have received after launching the program, the 1.0, is that a lot of users didn't want to have the fully automatic simulation, and that you wanted to have just some specific teeth automatically simulated and then do the others manually, or you didn't want to automatically simulate anything at all. And so, of course, we have the reputation for listening to our users a lot. And of course, we did it. We did what you wanted us to do. So here, when I create my scenarios, I see that there's this thing, that auto simulation on. So my first scenario, scenario number 1, I'm gonna just leave it on. For scenario number 2, I'm gonna have it all been done manually. And then for scenario number 3, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fix the position of some teeth and then allow the program to create the automatic simulation for the rest of it. So I press this button, and
So Maria, what's that button at the bottom that you just pressed?
So that's the one that fixes the position of the specific teeth.
So they stay in position no matter what other
Yeah.
part of the arch or the teeth are going to be adjusted. Okay.
Yeah. So I did this, and now I will see that, okay, these teeth, they will be not moved automatically, while all of those teeth, they will be. And here I have my form, and just as you've seen before, so if you click one time, you'll see that this will show that I plan an extraction on this very spot. If I click twice, it will turn green, meaning I plan a restoration on this very spot. And the program will automatically create restoration on this for this tooth, so that's pretty cool. So this is what my scenario number 3 will look like. Scenario number 2 will be totally it will be totally manual, and scenario number 1, it will be totally automatic. Maybe I will just leave it like this. And here, what you see on the right side is that we segment each tooth, and because we segment each and every tooth, we are able to actually move them around inside the scan data and create this ortho simulation. So when you first look at your data, you need to make sure that all of the teeth are segmented perfectly. So this is a really great case, but sometimes if the numbers are not correct or you see that like it's half selected or something, you can click this button like, oh, this is not tooth number 17, this is 18, so you can change it just like this. Or you can edit the area of the tooth, like this one is perfect, but for example, if it's something like this, then you can try and adjust it all manually.
Now, Maria, what would happen if a tooth was partially covered, wasn't completely covered, or if the coloration went down onto the tissue? How would that affect the simulation?
So the simulation at all might fail, but also you will see that you cannot move just a part of the tooth. You need the whole tooth to move at the later stage. So you better make sure that everything looks.
The software understands it as whatever is colored, the colored portion is the tooth. So they need to make sure
Right.
that's pretty accurate as they move forward. Okay, got it.
Exactly. So once I'm all set here, I will move to the next stage. And here in Ortho Simulation, as you see at the very top, we have 6 stages. So the first one was at the midline. The second one is what we just did when we create different scenarios. And the stage we're moving at right now is the one where you can actually see and compare all of those 3 scenarios. And sometimes it might be enough. You'd be like, oh yeah, okay, and the patient is happy, and the patient understands what's the difference between all of those treatments that you're suggesting. And you might just proceed to the animation stage, the 5th one, where you can show them how the teeth will actually move. So you get in this wow moment, and then you go to complete stage and save whatever you want to save to Medit link to the same case. However, if you're not satisfied with what program did, or you maybe want to change something, you can go to the stage number 4, which is the advanced adjustment stage, and work more with each scenarios. And what we just did is that we created the fully manual one. So you will see that at this stage, nothing will be changed because you said that you wanted everything by yourself. So you can go to this advanced adjustment stage and you can change every single tooth the way you want it to move. So I will show everything in detail. Here is our data, here's our model, and it looks pretty clean because we cut it. So I think that can have a really good impression on your patient. And so here we are. On the top right corner, you will see the scenario list. You can hide it if you don't want it to, if it takes too much space. So here, if you see that their number is blue, it means that the stimulation is automatic or partially automatic. If you see that the number is in gray, it means that it's a fully manual simulation. So you can kind of orient better in the scenarios that you have created. So here's the first one. This is what it looks like. You'll see it's here. And this is the original model. Here's the second one. So they're identical because we wanted to do it all manually. And then there's a third one for a patient.
I don't think that looks like a really good final result there.
Yeah. And so we definitely can work more on this one in the advanced adjustment stage. And so here are all of those buttons. So you can have a look at what the model looks like from different angle. And
so that's nice. So they're not left rotating it. They can just go from the buccal side to labial side and so forth to get a good idea of what's going on.
Right. And if you want to take a look at all of the scenarios at the same time, you can just click this button. So you see that the 2 windows became 4 windows, and you can just take a look at all of them and maybe talk to your patient about what each of those scenarios entail in terms of the pain that they might suffer through. And here as well, there is this nice thing. You can change the look, the display mode of this model from this to this. So yeah, we also get overwhelming feedback that some patients who are not really comfortable with looking at their scan data, they really prefer this one, and it kind of like this toyish kind of pink color, and they're much more comfortable looking at their teeth in this way. So here we'll have a Bolton ratio for each of these scenarios. So if I take out a tooth from the 60th here on maxilla and 60th here on mandible, the Bolton ratio will change, and you will see each one here for each scenario.
So it just reflects the scenarios right there. When you do the little drop down, it'll show you the Bolton ratio on each. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
And here is what it what it will ideally look like, so you can kind of compare. And maybe you can also use this as a reference to explain your patient why you prefer this specific kind of treatment. So I think it's a great tool to increase the level of understanding of like why I should take like the teeth out or something like this for the patient. And yeah, if I like everything here, I can just go to the animation stage, and here the program will show me the animated movement of the teeth of the patient based on the scenario that you have chosen here at the top right corner. And now it was moving pretty slowly, but if we just if we speed it up, this is what it looks like.
Wow, you really see the difference when you move it quickly. There's a lot of movement there.
Yeah, I think it should be the other way around. I'm doing something really bad for this poor person. But it doesn't matter because there is a way to fix this. So if there is something that I want to adjust myself, so as I mentioned before, we're going to advanced adjustment stage. And then when I'm done with this stage, I'm gonna come back to the animation stage and talk a bit more about all the amazing possibilities and functions that we added in the recent update.
And you know, Maria, as you go, I think it's really important as they're watching your cursor, you're kind of following the workflow at the top, but it's not necessary for you to follow step by step across there all the way. You can skip if you're happy with the scenarios, or you can go back and actually do the manual adjustment like you were talking about earlier.
Right.
Okay.
So I jump from here to here. So I can go from here, where I compare all the scenarios, and I can move straight to here.
Okay.
And then yeah, I moved here. So here we are, scenario number 3, the poor patient scenario, and I want to do something. And here, when I hover over with my mouse over a tube, it will turn blue, meaning that I can move it.
I think your screen has frozen. Let's see, what are you on right now?
So I have 6 teeth selected. Can you see it?
No, we're, you know, unless the audience can see something. There we go. Okay, we got it now. We were kind of on the previous window and we didn't see you select the teeth. So can you reselect those teeth? I'm sorry to make you go back and do it just so they know how to select those. I don't know, for some reason that the screen froze a little bit there.
Here, when I select one tooth and I move it, if I go over to the next tooth, I can just select it just like this. So I don't click anything. Are you just clicking
on each tooth as you do it? Okay.
Got it. And here I can move all the teeth at the same time.
Is that a right click maybe, or a
no, just
a left click?
Yeah, just left click, and I can move over the model with my mouse, but also I can use all those buttons to help me really see what's going on. So I can move all the teeth that I see on the screen.
This really gives a lot of freedom in where you want the placement of the teeth to be and end up. So it gives a lot of control to the dentist doing this.
Definitely. And here I can go through it just like this. And then, for example, if I didn't specify that I want extraction when I was doing the form, I can still do it. So I can do this.
So you just you click on it and drag it out of there.
Definitely, yes.
If
that's
only
what I'm doing.
An extraction in life was that simple.
If I realize that I did something wrong, I can use the undo, redo buttons, or I can just press Control Z.
Okay, that brings up a good point. I know last time you used some quick steps to get certain things done. Can you explain quickly how, you know, you can see the icons at the bottom and everything, how to move and everything, but how do you use the quick controls, quick steps that you were using?
So if any function in Medit ecosystem or simulation or scan for clinic, scan for labs, if this function has a shortcut, when you hover over the specific button, you see that in the brackets, it says Alt +3. This means that this is a shortcut to get into this function. So you don't have to actually worry that there is some explanation. Of course, there are some, like in Smile Design or Scan for Labs, but yeah, usually you can just get accustomed to our shortcuts keys just like this.
Perfect.
Another cool thing that we added is that, for example, I move this teeth and I want to see how these specific teeth have moved. And so I click this button and then I can watch their movement. And if I'm like, okay, I think this position was kind of perfect, I press this button and it applies the position of
Wow.
the position that I just chose. So yeah, it's pretty nice. We added a lot of tools in the recent update that help really a lot to maximize the workflow of Ortho Simulation. And here, yes, you have all of these buttons that will help you move your patient's teeth in several directions, but I usually just use this one. And before we move to the next stage, I'm just going to show 2 more functions. And one of them is this one. So they're the guidelines that we provide. You can take a look at them in this view, or you can take a look at them at this view. You can adjust the guidelines. And then if you press this button, adjust the guidelines, the program will automatically adjust the
Wow.
model.
So it'll actually put the teeth, it puts the curve on the buccolabial surface, so it fits inside of that line.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so choose any view that you're more comfortable with, or it gives you more understanding of this case. And every time you update the guidelines, you press this button and it will just adjust the model to those changes that you just made. And then another function is the one where you reference the occlusion of the specific case. So you see that you see the contact area. You can change the how
Basically,
much you want to see actually.
Where like the occlusion, where the teeth are occluding, and how far open it is, and how much space you have. Is that correct?
Yeah, right. And so if I move this on my model, I'm still in scenario 3. You will see how they're moving.
I see on the opposing, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see how the occlusion and the bite changes while moving that bicuspid. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's a good thing also to make sure that the treatment you're choosing is really matches it's also good with the occlusion when it comes to the occlusion. And here as well, you can move several teeth at the time. And yep. So before moving to the animation stage, here as well, so we have received a lot of feedback. Users wanted to create the export function for all of these segmented teeth for each scenario. So for example, this is my manual one, the one that I wanted to adjust all by myself. Let me just exit.
So when you say segmented teeth, you're talking just the teeth. They want to be able to save those separately.
Right, yes.
Okay.
And we edit this export function to 2 of the stages. And okay, oh my God, my poor patient.
Yeah, I don't know if this one's getting better or not. We have 2 other good scenarios, so we'll leave it with those guys.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Okay, so when I press this button, so this button will be available at this stage, at the advanced adjustment stage, and it will be available at our animation stage. So here, since I'm working right now with scenario number 2, this only concerns scenario number 2. And I can choose to export this, all of this teeth with base or without base. And I can choose to export the teeth like this, which we call the closed type, and like this, which we call the open type. You see that they're kind of open, yeah.
Yeah. So you can just export those separately, regardless of the base and the model and anything else, and just have these teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just press the button and everything is exported to Medit. And then, so now I move to the last stage before completing this project. It's the animation stage. And so, yeah, we saw that we can just go through the animation like this and give the patient a wow moment. But also what we can do is to create this kind of segments of this animation by pressing this plus button, which appears when we drag this circular thingy. And you can create up to 20 steps in this animation, and you can just go through all of the steps like one by one. And also when you export everything to Medit, now you see this is the same dialog window, but now you can export all of the steps or just selected steps. So for example, I think I need to export the step number 2 and number 3 and maybe number 6, something like this. So I just go like this.
So just with a dash in between it there or a comma, does it matter?
Yeah, so 2 to 5 and then 6.
Got it. Okay.
And again, I can choose to export it with or without the base, and then as a closed or open type. And then after I press I'm just going to do it with base this time. I press confirm.
So you can actually export the teeth or save the teeth and then save the whole model with the base or without a base as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, by stage, by the steps that I have created in my animation. And now when I'm done, so yeah, when you can watch animation by those scenarios. So all the steps will be only apply to this scenario, not for this one. So you have the total control over what you're doing with this one. And now that I'm done, I'm pressing the last button, the complete button. And here I can choose which scenarios I would like to save to Medit. So I'm creating capture images, and maybe this is also a great way that I can communicate with the patient, or maybe send this image to patient, or use it in any way to just consult them. So I think I should have chosen stereo number 1 and number 2, not number 3.
I don't know. I'm kind of like a number 2 here.
It's one's preference, I guess. And now that everything is exporting to Medit, the program will close. And here I am in my case. And here you see that the project file is being saved. And you see Ortho Simulation appeared here and here.
So you have the original files in there still. And then the Ortho Simulation saves to the same where your original files were. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I disabled viewing options for my original files, and this is what I'm doing. So you see that I have all of those segmented teeth, and this is the animation step that I exported. So everything will be here.
And I can see that right there, scenario 2. So it's still labeled as the scenarios, the different ones that you can pull up from there. Okay.
Right. And here all the teeth that I exported one by one. So yeah, I guess a lot of data is mixed here.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, these are the teeth, and let me just select all of that.
So each tooth is individually saved there. It's not actually all of them together.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So this is what it's gonna look like in the end.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, this is it. This is the brief explanation of the Ortho Simulation workflow. Hopefully it was understandable, and hopefully you have a better view of what's going on in Ortho Simulation.
That was extremely helpful. It's really amazing what you can do with this, and I think that again, it's something that somebody can learn today and apply in their clinic tomorrow, because it's easy to use. It's user friendly. Quickly before we wrap up here, I just wanted to ask you, we do have a new app coming out. You mentioned it last time, but I just want to keep mentioning it. I know a lot of people are excited about it. The new app, do you want to talk about it really quick so people can kind of plan for it and know what's coming?
Before I get into this, so I'm trying to run ortho simulation from a smile design case, and this is a message that will pop up and say that you don't have the 3D data, so if you want to get it, press here. And once you go here, you will see that there's this welcome page. And this is a video, quick walkthrough video that you can watch to get more into all the functions. And this is the sample package where you will have the data.
I think that this is brilliant that you actually offer sample data to practice with as well. This has helped a lot of people that I've trained with, just being able to kind of mess with it, practice it, and watch the video. So make sure you guys go there if you don't have the capacity. Also, after watching this today, watch the recording again tomorrow and then go practice on the files that have been provided to you. It's very helpful.
Yes, so getting back to the new apps, I don't know if you're really following our social media, but yeah, we announced a few weeks ago that we are bringing Medit Model Builder into the world, and I think it's going to be released very, very soon. So hopefully I will be able to also walk you through the process of Medit Model Builder as well. So I'm very excited, and please stay tuned in our social media channels, and we're giving all the information there. So yeah, we're all really excited. It's a very simple app to use.
Once that's released, we'll plan another webinar around that, so you can teach us how to use that one as well. And then also, you mentioned something about Medit calibration, calibration wizard. I'll let you talk about that really quick here.
Right. So if you own a Medit scanner, you know that right now you have to go into Scan for Clinics in order to calibrate your scanner. Well, what we're going to do is that we're going to take out this function. It's still going to be in Scan for Clinics, but we're also going to take it out as a separate app. So you won't have to run Scan for Clinics in order to calibrate your scanner. And hopefully we can also do a very quick webinar on it. So it's like a 3-minute kind of workflow, so that you don't have to apologize to your patient if you need to calibrate scanner in front of them, or it's just there to help you and maximize the time you actually spend with the patient not calibrating the scanner. So hopefully it's going to be a good one.
I love the idea of this. It does save a lot of time without having to open Medit Scan for Clinics, to be able to calibrate prior to having the patient in the chair and realizing, oh shoot, we've got to calibrate. So excited for that one. Again, I just want to mention everybody, we have a webinar next week. It's 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. in Korea for Maria. So she's already, it's Thursday for you already, if I understand correctly, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and that is, we're doing Crown Fit next week, right?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. So join in. If you already haven't registered, just email me again. It's emily.bradley@medit.com, and I will send you the registration links. Maria will be our awesome guest speaker again. So yeah, is that it, Maria? Are we covered here?
Yep.
Okay. Well, as always, thanks for your time. Thank the whole team there for what they do. I think we have a team in Korea that doesn't sleep. They come up with brilliant things all the time. And it's like you said, Maria, they listen to the end users all the time. Somebody will mention something and they apply it. So we're super grateful. Glad you could join us. And we look forward to seeing everyone else next week on the webinar. So yeah, email me if you have any questions and we'll get the recording out to everyone. Thanks again, Maria.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.